first. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Hello and welcome back to another video here on the channel. It's Football Fan 148 here, and today I am doing the draw predictions for the Carabao Cup 2023/24 first round. Of course, as everyone knows, of course, the fixtures for the Sky Bet Championship, League 1 and League 2, of course, come out first thing in the morning. So, yeah, I really need to, I felt like literally with them also doing the Carabao Cup draw plus the EFL Trophy draw as well, I thought that I might as well, do, the draw predictions for the Carabao Cup right now. So I thought, really, why not? So, yeah, of course, as I am here, of course, I am here to really get this recording done. So, yeah, and that's to say, of course, let's get into it. Okay, so what we're going to be doing here, guys, is pretty much, I'm going to be of course, I've got this app called the Wheel of Names up. Actually, let me just get it up on screen for you all to see. So let me just get it up on screen. Hang on a second. Yeah. Right. As you can see, guys, of course, we've got the whole wheel of names here with, of course, all the teams on there. Of course, if you remember from last year, of course, with the Carabao Cup, right in the early stages of it, of course, they'll have a northern and southern section. So, yeah, pretty much what I'm going to be doing first, guys, is we're going to be doing the northern section of the draw first. And then, of course, we'll be doing the southern section straight afterwards. So as you can see, we've got all the teams here, but let me just read you the teams out briefly beforehand. Okay, so we got Exeter City at number 1, Barnsley number 2, Barrow number 3, Blackburn number 4, Blackpool 5, Bolton 6, Bradford 7, Burton Albion 8. Carlisle 9, Crewe 10, Derby 11, Doncaster 12, Fleetwood and Grimsby 13, 14, with Harrogate and Huddersfield 15 and 16. Okay, then we have Hull City at number 17. Yeah, of course, we've got Hull City at number 17. We've got Leeds at 18, Leicester 19, Lincoln 20, Mansfield 21, Middlesbrough and Morecambe 22 and 23, with Notts County and Port Vale 24 and 25, with Preston, Rotherham, Salford and Sheffield Wednesday 26, 27, 28 and 29. And of course the final lot, of course we've got Shrewsbury Town, Stockport County, Stoke City and Sunderland at 30, 31, 32 and 33, with Tranmere Rovers, Walsall, West Brom, Wigan and Wrexham, of course, 34, 35, 36, 37 and 38. So, okay. So, yeah, guys. So, pretty much I've got it set up. So, let's get it started, shall we? So, yep, here we go. Here we go. We are underway. What have we got? Who we've got first? And the team first out is Huddersfield Huddersfield Town, who managed to escape relegation last season, at the expense of my club, Reading, who are absolutely in a terrible situation right now. So, yeah, just really not the greatest situation. So that's Huddersfield first out. So who we got next? Who's going to be facing Huddersfield? And it will be number 6, Bolton Wanderers. Of course, Bolton Wanderers, of course, got to the semi-finals of the playoffs last season in League One, but unfortunately lost to Barnsley on the day, so really not good news for them. But they got an away trip to the St John Smith Stadium to take on Huddersfield in the first round. So okay, that's first we're done. So who we got next? That next team is Port Vale. All right. So Port Vale, of course, they got promotion, of course, to League 2 this season. No, not to League 2. I meant to League 1 this season. This season, by of course. No, they weren't promoted. Sorry, I got something mixed up there. Yeah, but anyway, Port Vale. Who will they be facing? They'll be taking on. Oh, it looks like fellow League One opposition in Lincoln City. Yes, so of course. So an all League One tie there. Okay. So who's next out the hat? And it is League 2 Walsall. Okay, so League 2 Walsall out there. Of course, Walsall had a pretty mixed season. Didn't exactly do well at the start, but pretty much as mid-season, as the season went on, they really got up to a lot of stuff there. Did really, really well. Did Walsall. So yeah. So of course, next team out. Next team out is Stockport County. Of course, Stockport County. Of course, Stockport County got so close to promotion, but unfortunately just denied it the final hurdle. So yeah, really not good news that for Stockport. So Stockport all League 2 tie against Walsall. Okay, next one coming out is League 1 opposition in Derby County. Of course, they were very close to, but unfortunately couldn't manage it on the final day. So yeah, Walsall unfortunately just that unlucky. No, not Walsall. I meant Derby County. Just that tad bit. They're not as much what's going on here. Hang on a second. Let me get rid of these other bits. Okay, perhaps that might work now. Okay, so right. Okay, next team out is of course going to be Accrington Stanley. So Derby County versus Accrington Stanley. Of course, Accrington Stanley, they got relegated last season. Not good for them, unfortunately. There, Accrington Stanley, of course, getting relegated to League 2 for the first time. In, I think it was like 4 seasons. Might have been 5. I'm not exactly sure how long it was they were in League 1 for. But let's see who the next tie will be. And we thought is it? No. 2 side there. Morecambe. Or I think Morecambe is it? No, Morecambe went down. Yeah. Morecambe, unfortunately, they also were relegated as well last season. Really didn't exactly do too well, did Morecambe last season. So, yeah. Who will they be facing in the first round? They'll be taking on Championship opposition in Stoke City. Oh, that'll be a big day, that, for Morecambe. Big game, that. Morecambe versus Stoke City. Big game, that. So, yeah, definitely intriguing one there. So, Morecambe versus Stoke. Let me just remind you of the teams we've had so far. We've had Huddersfield, Bolton, Port Vale, Lincoln, Walsall, Stockport, Derby County, Exeter, Stanley, Morecambe, and Stoke drawn out already. Well, who's going to be the next team out? And it will be... it's going to be League One opposition. It will be Barnsley. Barnsley League One, of course, very, very close. Unfortunately, just narrowly losing out on the day thanks to a Josh Windass strike for Sheffield Wednesday, of course, right at the end of extra time to give them a place in the Championship. Who are Barnsley taking on? Oh, it's League Two opposition in Crewe Alexandra. Yes, so Barnsley versus Crewe Alexandra. Right. So that is all done here. Right. Next team out will be... It will be Wigan Athletic, who have had a bit of a few problems of their own as of late. But hopefully they'll be able to get themselves sorted out. So Wigan Athletic, they will be facing fellow League One opposition in Fleetwood Town. Of course, Fleetwood Town, of course, did actually get very, very close to beating Ipswich on the final day. But, of course, yeah. So, yeah, interesting stuff, really. Anyway, of course, so we've had a few interesting ties already, but let's see who's next. And it will be League One side Burton Albion, who, of course, relegated MK Dons to League Two football last season. So, yeah, really, that was really unfortunate for MK Dons losing it, even though they just couldn't score a goal on the day. And that ended up them getting relegated. So who will they be facing? And it'll be former Premier League side Leicester City, who of course went down. Of course, went down in the most tragic of ways. Of course, losing out to Everton. Of course, Everton just managing to keep themselves in the Premier League. Because of that 1-0 win against Bournemouth, and that was, of course, despite Leicester beating West Ham by 2-1 on the day. So, yeah, that was really, really unfortunate there for Leicester. And the next one out is, of course, another side who pretty much, guys, we knew they were going down pretty much around this time. Last season, it is, of course, Leeds United. They have a home tie. So Leeds United have a home tie, and they will be taking on fellow Championship side West Brom. So it's Leeds United versus West Brom, an all-Championship tie there. That is very, very interesting. I think that should make for a good tie as well. If that does come out tomorrow. Next side out is, of course, Shrewsbury Town. Shrewsbury Town, of course. Shrewsbury. Yeah, Shrewsbury Town, of course, in League One still. Was a very much mid-table season for them, really. And Shrewsbury Town will be facing off against Championship opposition in Preston North End. Oh, that's a very tricky tie for Shrewsbury Town. Preston North End, of course, did well in the Championship last season, finishing very close to the playoffs. Actually ended up finishing 9th in the Championship last season. So, yeah, so interesting stuff indeed there. But difficult times really await Shrewsbury Town. And of course, the next team out is, of course, Bradford City, who unfortunately, of course, went out the playoff semi-finals last season. Yeah, really not good for that for Bradford. Coming very, very, very close, but yet so far. Just so annoying for them. Anyway, Bradford will be facing. They'll be facing Championship opposition in Rotherham United. Of course, Rotherham United. It was a good start of the season, but then they really faltered, ending up like close, really down the bottom, close to the relegation zone. Indeed. So yeah, Rotherham, pretty much a mixed season for them. Anyway, so of course, who will be next team out? Next team out is Blackburn Rovers. Blackburn, of course, very, very close to getting into the playoffs. But unfortunately, just faltering right at the end. So Blackburn Rovers, they will be facing. They'll be facing. Fellow championship side Sunderland, who did get in the playoffs last season. Sunderland on the final day, but pretty much crashed and burned in the playoffs, losing out to Lincoln City. Of course, first leg, of course, finished 1-1, but then Lincoln City, of course, got the win back. Beat Sunderland by a goal to nil back at their place. So, of course, Sunderland just really not a good time for them last season. Of course, losing to eventual Premier League side Luton. And next team out will be League 2 opposition in Harrogate Town. Yes, Harrogate Town will be facing. We've got Harrogate. Notts County. All right. Of course, Notts County, of course, got themselves promoted last season. Of course, winning the playoffs in the National League. Of course, Notts County, they really had a pretty much down to the wire race with Wrexham for promotion last season, but Wrexham just narrowly beat them to it. But Notts County really ended up, winning the playoffs. So yeah, a bit of a bonus for that for Notts County, of course, because they're getting promoted back to the EFL. Okay, next team up is Carlisle United, of course, League One side. Yes, the Carlisle. So Carlisle United of League One, of course, getting promoted by the playoffs, beating Stockport County on penalties in that League Two playoff final last season. Will be facing Championship opposition in Sheffield Wednesday. In Sheffield Wednesday, that would be a tough task for Carlisle. Of course, the capability of in Sheffield Wednesday, I mean, their attacking prowess is just absolutely incredible. So, yeah, that's some quite good stuff there. But anyway, yeah, I apologise for that little buffering on the wheel there, guys. It was just a little bit of an issue there. But anyway, so of course, it'd be Carlisle versus Sheffield Wednesday. Okay, we've got 10 teams left. We'll make that 9 because the next team out is Mansfield Town. So Mansfield Town. So that's the first. So that's them out. I was going to say something about first, but I can't remember what earth that was. Yeah, but anyway, next Mansfield, of course, be taking on a fellow League Two League Two opposition in Doncaster Rovers. It's the Mansfield League One versus Doncaster Rovers in League Two. Okay, 8 teams remain, and the first team at that lot to come out is Barrow, and Barrow facing Hull City of the Championship. Oh, what a task that'll be for Barrow to overcome in Hull City. Tough task, but I think they'll give it their all. Okay, 3 ties remaining to be drawn out. And next team out is Middlesbrough. Of course, my dad's team. Middlesbrough, of course, unfortunately failing in the playoff semi-final against Coventry last season. So, yeah, Middlesbrough just unfortunately just failing in there. They'll be looking to put whoever they get past them and move into round 2. But who will they get? Oh, it's Grimsby Town. Middlesbrough versus League 2 side Grimsby Town. Middlesbrough versus Grimsby. Interesting tie there. Okay, so final 4 teams. We've got Blackpool, Salford, Tranmere, or Wrexham. Yeah. Next side out is, of course, Salford City of League 2. They've been getting very close to the playoffs in the last couple of seasons of Salford. So I think definitely Salford, I think this season, hopefully it may be the one for them, but who knows. But I reckon they'll be asking themselves who will they be getting first round. And it will be League 1 side Blackpool. Also Salford City versus Blackpool. League 2 versus League 1 there. And, of course, the final two teams we have got is, of course, Tranmere Rovers or Wrexham. Of course, who will be at home and who will be away. Looks like it is going to be Wrexham, the home side. And of course, the final team is, of course, Tranmere Rovers. Is of course Tranmere Rovers. So there we go, guys. Right. There we go. So that is pretty much, that's the northern section done. Now, of course, we need to, I'll just take this off the screen for a second. So, of course, now we've dealt with the northern section of the draw. Now we can move on to the southern section of the draw. And before I put them up, let me just remind you that, of course, the numbers of the southern section. So we got number 1, AFC Wimbledon, 2, Birmingham City, 3, Bristol City, 4, Bristol Rovers, 5, Cambridge United, 6, Cardiff City, 7, Charlton Athletic, 8, Cheltenham Town, 9, Colchester United, 10, Coventry City, 11, Crawley Town, 12, Exeter City, 13, Forest Green Rovers, 14, Gillingham, 15, Ipswich Town, 16, Leyton Orient, 17, Millwall, 18, MK Dons, 19, Newport County, 20, Northampton Town, 21, Norwich City, 22, Oxford United, 23, Peterborough United, 24, Plymouth Argyle, 25, Portsmouth, 26, QPR, aka Queen's Park Rangers, 27, Reading, 28, Southampton, 29, Stevenage, 30, Sutton United, 31, Swansea City, 32, Swindon Town, 33, Watford, and 34, Wycombe Wanderers. So, yeah, of course, some interesting sides here. So, yeah, so we pretty much got them set. And I was just spinning it. Yeah, I was just pretty much just giving it a bit of a test spin there. No, I'll get rid of Bristol Rovers. Just a sec. Rovers. Oh. Uh-oh. Well, that's one done. Anyway, and of course the next. So, yeah. I've pretty much got the northern section done. Now it's time for the so now it's time for the southern section, which of course I'm looking forward to doing. So yeah, here we go. So of course, here we go, guys. I've got them all up here. As you can see, of course, pretty much, as you can see, there's 34 teams here, where, of course, the northern section had 38. 38. So, yeah, I think this should be a bit more quicker than the last one. Well, we'll see anyway. But anyway, let's get this draw. Let's get the southern section of the draw underway. And the first team out will be Watford. Oh, interesting there for Watford. Watford getting a home tie there. Championship opposition there for the team in the form of Watford. But who will Watford be playing? And it will be Number 22, Oxford United. Of course, Oxford United, a side that I really am not a huge fan of. Really, of course, playing off against Watford. That would be a very testing game. That for both Oxford and for Watford. Yeah, I think these two will really test each other. See, come out on top there. Anyway, next side out is League One Peterborough. Of course, Peterborough, unfortunately, just really being caught on the cruel side of it. Of course, Peterborough, of course, winning the first leg of the league of their League One playoff semi-final against Sheffield Wednesday. But Sheffield Wednesday really come back to haunt them pretty much, of course, scoring 4 goals in normal time to set up extra time. And then, of course, Peterborough, when they think they've got the job done, Sheffield Wednesday, of course, they then got that goal in extra time to, of course, send it to penalties when, of course, Peterborough, they also did get a goal as well. But Sheffield Wednesday, of course, got the job done on penalties. So, yeah, that's them. Of course, Sheffield Wednesday, of course, now a current championship club. But anyway, who will Peterborough be facing? And that will be fellow League One side Wycombe Wanderers. Yeah, Wycombe Wanderers, of course, and Peterborough. That'll be a very tight game there. 2 good teams there in League One going head to head. And next team out will be League 2 side MK Dons, who, of course, as I said before, got relegated to League 2 this season. Of course, Crawley just couldn't get that goal that was needed to save themselves against Burton Albion right at the end of last season. And MK Dons, they will be facing a fellow League 2 side in Forest Green Rovers. Yeah, Forest Green Rovers, of course, got themselves relegated as well last season. Yeah, pretty much, I think Forest Green Rovers, they really struggled in League One last season. So, yeah, I think it's only fitting for them to really come back to League 2. Okay, so next side out is Championship opposition in Cardiff City. Yeah, of course, Cardiff City are managing to stay away from the relegation zone pretty much when they needed to do it, really. So, yeah, decent enough for Cardiff. And Cardiff will be facing fellow Championship side in Millwall. Yes, so Cardiff versus Millwall. That would be a great Championship tie there in the Cup. Great tie there. Okay, next side out. Of course, League 1 side, Exeter City, of course, did quite well last season, but unfortunately just not good enough to get themselves towards the playoffs. We just couldn't manage it when they needed to the most. Okay, next side out is number 24, Plymouth Argyle. Of course, Plymouth, of course, going up to League One, to the Championship, as champions. Yes, Exeter City versus Plymouth Argyle, the Devon Derby, as they call it. Yeah, so tight here. Okay, next side we have out is going to be Swansea City. Had a bit of a difficult season last year, did Swansea, but they'll be looking to, of course, do better than they did last season. Yeah, but who will Championship Swansea be facing in the first round? And it will be League One side Leyton Orient. Of course, Leyton Orient coming up as champions of League Two last season. So, yeah, Leyton Orient coming up as League Two champions. That's to them. Did well there. Of course, coming up as champions. Okay, and who we got next? It will be League Two side Newport County. Newport County, of course, in League Two there. League Two there. So, okay, next team out will be Championship side Coventry City. So, I think Coventry pretty much can say themselves that they really have got themselves into round two, really. I mean, pretty much that should be an easy win for them, but we'll just have to wait and see with Coventry. But, of course, Coventry got to the playoff final last season, but unfortunately lost out on penalties last season. And next team out will be Southampton. Of course, Southampton got a home tie in the Carabao Cup. Of course, Southampton didn't have the greatest seasons last year. Of course, got themselves relegated. Of course, had to go through three managers at the time. Of course, three different managers. Of course, Hasselhoener getting himself sacked, and then him being replaced by Nathan Jones, who got sacked himself. And then they had Ruben Sellers, unfortunately couldn't keep them up. Anyway, he's really on there. But anyway, Southampton will be facing Queen's Park Rangers, aka QPR, although they were very close to having a match against Portsmouth there. That would have been a real feisty South Coast derby there. Yeah, it would have been a real feisty one. Okay, next side in is the Royals, Reading. Of course, Reading, fortunately, things not really going well for them right now. Things really not going way Reading would have hoped. They thought they'd be staying in the Championship, but because of the points deduction and everything, then of course it's at Paul Ince and everything, and just with everything that's been going on at the club right now, just Reading really not greatest sides right now. And of course Reading, they'll be taking on Portsmouth. Well, that'll be an interesting game. Reading versus Portsmouth. Of course, rules, I think the last time Reading ended up playing Portsmouth in a game, in any match, will be that game back in the Championship back in 2012. So, yeah, really not exactly the game that Reading would have wanted, but Portsmouth definitely top class side, did well in League One for a time, but then just faltered away a bit. So yeah, Reading versus Portsmouth there should be a interesting game there. Our next side out is of course the Londoners, League Two side AFC Wimbledon. Yeah. So who will AFC Wimbledon be facing? Well, it can't be MK Dons, because they've already been drawn out. But AFC Wimbledon, they'll be taking on fellow League Two side Swindon Town. Yes, AFC Wimbledon versus Swindon Town there. So we've got so we've got 7 ties to confirm here, ladies and gentlemen. We've got 14 teams left in it. Although I'm about to say we're about to have 13, because the next side coming out is going to be a League Two side at Gillingham. And Gillingham will be facing Bristol Rovers of League One. All right. Just in there, League Two versus League One. There in Gillingham versus Bristol Rovers. Okay, so who we got coming out next? Oh, it'll be another London side in Charlton Athletic. Yeah, Charlton Athletic, League One club from London. They'll be facing League Two side Colchester United. Ideal tie that for Charlton. Charlton Athletic versus Colchester. Colchester really have to be wary when it comes to Charlton, especially in that tie. Okay, next team out is Northampton Town. Of course, they got promoted to League One on the final day of League Two last season. Is it 2? No, it's just the one. Yeah. So will Northampton Town be facing? And it'll be fellow League One side Cambridge United. Of course, Cambridge United got very, very close to actually going down to the day of the season. Hey, who's coming out next? And it will be Championship side Birmingham City. Yeah, Birmingham City, of course, rather interesting team to watch there. And Birmingham will be taking on. They'll be taking on fellow Championship side Ipswich Town, who of course got promoted to the Championship via League One last season. Of course, going up as the League One runners-up. Yes, the Birmingham City versus Ipswich Town. So yeah, 3 more ties still to do. 6 teams left. One of those teams is Cheltenham Town. Yes, so Cheltenham Town there. And Cheltenham will be taking on League Two side Crawley. Yes, Cheltenham Town versus Crawley Town. Oh, it's a battle with the towns. That's one thing you really don't exactly hear a person say. Right, so here we go. So we've got pretty much the final 4 teams we got in the draw. It's, of course, Bristol City, Norwich City, Stevenage and Sutton United. So it's 2 championship clubs and 2 League 2 clubs. The first team out will, of course, be the League 2 side, Stevenage. Yes, the Stevenage of League 2 will be taking on it's going to be an all League 2 tie. Stevenage versus Sutton United. No, Stevenage. No, they're League 1 actually. Yeah, just remember that. Stevenage, of course, versus Sutton United would be League 1 versus League 2, actually. And, of course, the final 2 teams, of course, in the draw, of course, Bristol City and Norwich City. And we know now that Bristol City, of course, will be the team at home. Yeah. So Bristol City versus Norwich City. Ooh, fascinating tie there. Of course, I'll just spin it. Final time, just pretty much do it anyway. Yeah, so there we go, ladies and gentlemen. There we do indeed go. So, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That is, of course, the first round draw predictions done. So, I've pretty much drawn out all 72 EFL teams from, of course, in the northern and southern section. So, yeah, let me just, of course, remind you of course, the ties that we have got. So, of course, in the northern section, we have Huddersfield versus Bolton Wanderers, Port Vale versus Lincoln City, Walsall versus Stockport County, Derby County versus Accrington Stanley, Morecambe versus Stoke City, Barnsley versus Crewe Alexandra, Wigan versus Fleetwood, Burton versus Leicester, Leeds versus West Brom, Shrewsbury versus Preston, Bradford versus Rotherham, Blackburn versus Sunderland, Harrogate versus Notts County, Carlisle United versus Sheffield Wednesday, Mansfield Town versus Doncaster Rovers, Barrow versus Hull, Middlesbrough versus Grimsby, Salford City versus Blackpool, and Wrexham versus Tranmere. Of course, yes, that was the northern section. Of course, now in the southern section, I'll read them to you again. We've got Watford versus Oxford United, Peterborough versus Wycombe Wanderers, MK Dons versus Forest Green Rovers, Cardiff City versus Millwall, Exeter City versus Plymouth Argyle, Swansea City versus Leyton Orient, Newport County versus Coventry City, Southampton versus QPR, Reading versus Portsmouth, AFC Wimbledon versus Swindon, Gillingham versus Bristol Rovers, Charlton Athletic versus Colchester United. I was actually almost about to say Colchester United versus Cheltenham. I was about to say Colchester United versus Charlton. Yeah, I would have got it completely the wrong way round, guys. Yeah. So we've got Northampton versus Cambridge, Birmingham versus Ipswich, Cheltenham versus Crawley, Stevenage versus Sutton United, and Bristol City versus Norwich. So, yeah, some interesting ties here we've got. I think out the northern section, I think the one game that's definitely that's going to entertain me the most out of this one. Well, actually, I think there's actually going to be 2 games that is really going to enthrall me in the northern section. Definitely between Leeds United and West Brom, and of course Blackburn versus Sunderland. I mean, those games are just going to be so enthralling to watch. I think definitely those 4 teams there. A lot of top quality players, and they also have 4 top class managers as well. So it'd be interesting to see which side comes out on top in those 2 games. Now, of course, in the southern section here, of course, there's some really good games to watch. Especially with Watford versus Oxford, Peterborough versus Wickham, Exeter versus Plymouth, Charlton versus Colchester, Birmingham versus Ipswich, Bristol City versus Norwich, Reading versus Portsmouth. But I think if I have to be honest, I think definitely a lot of games in the southern section that really look forward to seeing. Same with the northern section. But if I have to be honest, I think the game that's really going to enthrall me really is going to be, of course, the Devon derby between Exeter City and Plymouth Argyle. I mean, that game is always a game to watch, especially if you want drama, a lot of tempers flying around. And really a lot of tempers blowing. Yeah, definitely the game for you. If you are a big football fan like myself. Yeah, so a lot of interesting games in the northern and southern section. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, of course, which side would you like to see your team face in the first round in, of course, either the northern or the southern sections? Who would you like to see your team face? If I have to be honest, I think the ideal tie for Reading, if I have to be honest, I think would be a game against Sutton United. I think if we get a game against Sutton, I think that we can come away. I think we can definitely look at that and say, well, I think that's definitely a game that we can win. Yeah, but really, I think it'd be interesting to see how on earth that game would go against Sutton. But if we didn't face Sutton, I think the second team I would want Reading to face would of course be Forest Green Rovers. I mean, Forest Green Rovers, they were bottom of League One last season, really didn't exactly have the best of seasons. So really, I think if you're a Reading fan, I think you've got to be looking at Forest Green Rovers and thinking, well, that's us in the next round. So yeah, definitely be interesting either way. But anyway, guys, yeah, as I said before, who you like to see your team face in the first round of the Carabao Cup, please let me know down in the comments below. And also, please do like the video and subscribe to the channel Football Fan 148. And I will see you I'll see you all, of course, in the next video. Of course, I'll probably try and be live for, of course, the EFL fixture release at 9 a.m. this morning, so I'll try and be live for that. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Night, guys. Peace.